Good morning. I want to speak to you this morning about relationships in the context of 2014 to 2024. A lot of us have got soul contracts with certain souls that we will meet up, especially at this time. We might have met up before, but at this time it's very important that we get together. We are, in a certain extent, a lot of us were called specifically to do specific tasks on this planet. In other words, it's our higher mission, it's our higher calling, and it's a service work that we have to do together at this time. A lot of us were involved in the first civilization, which is one of them is about my book, which was the first civilization here in Africa. And what is Africa today? At that time, it was one massive continent. And also later civilizations which came like Lemuria, and Atlantis. And it's basically Atlantis that really put the whole split of that whole separation thing into mankind, that feeling of alienation, that feeling of being separate from each other, and also the alienation from God, in that they felt that they were lost on this planet or they were cut off. What actually happened, they were in literally cutting themselves off. It wasn't a matter of anybody else cutting them off, but it was a matter of the choices that they made. Now this time we will always be challenged on that. It's always be challenged on what choices you make in life and how you bring your choices into your highest values, into your highest service, into that highest purpose that you're supposed to live. Now, a lot of us have had love relationships over many times and many lifetimes. And some of those love relationships started in the very beginning as the twin flames were brought into the planet to do certain healing work. It was certain energy work that they were doing, and it was specific task work. So they will be pulled together, not because the ego stands in the way, but because of the real service work that they have to do. Unfortunately, in through the times, there have been a lot of things that happened, and I won't go into detail about that. But all I want to say to you is that we will now be challenged to really look deeper into our relationships, in our social relationships, in the whole planetary relationships, which means within the within the communities. It means within our place in society. It means how we live our lives. Are we living our lives now in a higher state of consciousness, or are we going to be pulled right back into the lower ones? There are certain portals that have opened up now, which really give us a chance to escalate our consciousness now as the consciousness of the planet rises. It brings in massive opportunities of living our life purpose. It brings in new opportunities of creating new life. It brings new opportunities of creation, wholesome and really beautiful relationships. But first of all, we've got to do the inner clearing and cleansing, the releasing of that emotional pain, that emotional baggage, all that ego that stood in the way of our relationships. So often ego comes in the way, and then we make long lists of what the other did wrong and what they did to us, instead of seeing the infinite love that is there and it's forever present. When we start seeing love and all and everything, our whole concept of life changes, because we realize that in the end there is only love. There is nothing else but love. Love is the energy that holds the whole of creation together, because we were conceived in utter and sacred love of divine union between the divine masculine and the divine feminine. And that was beautiful, sacred union. We were created within that concept of union between the divine masculine and the divine feminine, and in equal parts. One wasn't more than the other one. And that is the challenge of our relationship, that we start standing in our power, that we start standing in our true feminine power and our true masculine power, but balanced, beautifully balanced, with the masculine and feminine inside ourselves, and then, and only then, can we create sacred, wholesome relationships. And we can also really honor the divine in each other. and we can honor the divine in all the people that we encounter. That is a challenge that we are now facing in the next 10 years. But it's a beautiful challenge. I see this as really stepping into the highest purpose and calling that we have, and that we really start working on ourselves so that with every time that we raise our own consciousness, we raise the consciousness of a collective. That is one wonderful task, and I can just encourage you to really, really go for it. It is amazing, and it is what we all have to do at this particular time. And I thank you, each and every one. The challenges are not easy. I had to go through excruciating pain in the last few years in order to heal. So I know all about that, and I've got great sympathy and understanding. But in the end, we have to release and let go so that we can heal in all and everything that we are and everything that we are aspiring to be. But what a joy it is to get up in the mornings and to know that life is whole and complete, and there's so much to be grateful for. And we just ask for